I'm Tom Baker, this is Chasing Cars, and this is the new second generation Skoda Kodiaq. It's been revealed today, and in today's video, I'm going to take you around this new upper mid-size SUV and tell you exactly what we should expect from it. We'll check out the exterior and the interior design. I'll tell you about the engines that are going to be available with the Kodiaq, the release date, and then what we should expect here in Australia. We already know which engine this vehicle is going to launch with and when it's going to come out. All those details in today's video. But before we start, hit subscribe. This design language is the latest evolution of what Skoda calls modern solid. At the front end, the new Kodiaq is familiar with a split headlight motif continuing from the original car, but now with 15% brighter crystallium matrix LED headlights framing a broader grille with chrome slats and an interesting 14-element split light bar with active cooling shutters. Now, this rich Bronx gold color won't be for everyone, but it is always good to see something bold and not just another grey. Although the Kodiaq uses an evolved version of the outgoing SUV's platform, the side profile appears quite different with a noticeable 6cm lengthening of the body and especially at the rear overhang. What do you think of the proportions of the new Kodiaq? The glasshouse is nice and slim with plastic cladding running the length of the lower body. Expect to see this element in body colour for the Sportline and an inevitable eventual RS return. At the rear of the glasshouse is a strake in dark grey, and the wheels measure between 17 and 20 inches globally, but expect to see at least 18s here in Australia. Moving to the rear, there's been a major change here. Initially, it looks rather unfamiliar to me, though we should see these motifs on future Skodas, including a set of rear LED taillights connected by a relatively low reflector strip. I don't think this lights up, as it's referred to as decorative. Inside is where the magic really happens though, because look, there's still a good amount of physical switches, knobs and buttons. Clearly, Skoda listens to buyer feedback and they wanted to go down a different road to cousin Volkswagen here. Though the available 13-inch touchscreen is shared with cars like the new Tiguan, beneath that screen you won't find a climate control touch bar slider. Instead, the Kodiaq, along with the forthcoming Superb, which will be revealed soon, debuts a new feature called Smart Dials. 3 driver customizable dials that can be assigned to common functions like temperature, fan speed, seat heating and cooling, volume, or navigation map zoom. On the attractive looking steering wheel, you again find real physical controls, including a roller for volume, which is great, plus paddle shifters for the DSG automatic transmission. The dual digital screens in here are running Volkswagen and Skoda's new version 4.0 infotainment software, which promises an easier user experience and snappier loading times. This Kodiaq could come to Australia with a degree of inbuilt online connectivity, unlike the first gen Kodiaq. Wireless CarPlay, Android Auto, and a 14-speaker Canton stereo will all feature, while the USB-C ports here provide 45-watt laptop charging speeds. Cooled dual wireless chargers also provide each device with 15 watts simultaneously. Moving to the dash, the upper glove box cover is attractively stitched and the tan colour of this test car's interior certainly gives perceived quality a lift. Those Cognac seats on this particular vehicle are trimmed in what Skoda calls its Eco Suite interior, which uses sustainably treated leather tanned using coffee bean processing residue. Black leather will also be available, while a second interior theme called Lounge will feature grey suede microfiber seats. Here, the front seats have a massaging function and an adjustable thigh extender plus 12-way power adjustment. We can see the center armrest is adjustable and there's a range of covered storage. The trim appears to be a real or simulated wood or granite effect, not really sure, but it looks cool. The Kodiaq will continue to be a 3-row SUV as standard, at least here in Australia, with third row headroom up by 15 mils, while boot space is now up by 25% to 340 litres in 7-seat mode and 845 litres in 5-seat mode. Are you a fan of the exterior and interior styling of the new Kodiaq? Let me know in the comments. Under the skin of the second-gen Kodiaq is the Volkswagen Group's MQB Evo transverse platform, which accommodates 4-cylinder engines. The new SUV will also debut enhanced suspension tech in the form of new plus-grade dynamic chassis control, which uses dual-valve damping to separate rebound and compression strokes. I have had a passenger ride in a 110 kilowatt Kodiaq in Germany and found the ride to be a tad brittle.
Not sure if that one had DCC Plus or not. Globally, there will be a range of engines for the Kodiaq, but the Australian choices will be pretty slim. The entire powertrain menu hasn't yet been revealed, but we know it will consist of 2 petrols, a 1.5 litre with mild hybrid tech, and a non-hybrid 2 litre with all-wheel drive, plus 2 2-litre diesels. The diesels aren't on the menu for Australia, and nor is the plug-in hybrid, which produces 150 kilowatts of power while offering more than 100 kilometres of electric driving range.
But what should we expect here in Australia? Well, the Kodiaq is going to launch with a 140 kilowatt 2-litre TSI turbo petrol 4-cylinder engine, backed up by a dual clutch automatic transmission. It will also have standard all-wheel drive, so a similar offer to what we see now with the 132 kilowatt all-wheel drive Kodiaq. Now, this engine could well underpin an entry model and also a sport line, just as we see today. But an RS is almost inevitable, with up to 200 kilowatts of power and, of course, all-wheel drive. As for pricing, the Kodiaq currently ranges from between about $57,000 drive away through to $76,000 drive away here in Australia. I think we should expect modest increases for this vehicle. The interior does look a little leveled up to me, and it is also a bigger car, so perhaps we could see 60 to 80 drive away, but it doesn't get here for a while. Speaking of release dates, in Europe, the Kodiaq will launch in early 2024. With the UK, it'll be the middle of the year, but Australia will have to wait until late 2024. Production allocation has already been locked in, with production of Australian cars starting in the third quarter of 2024. So there's about a year's wait from now until we might see the very first Kodiaqs landing here in Australia. So what do you think of the Kodiaq? Will you be jumping in line for the second gen car? Let me know down below in the comments. While you're there, hit subscribe if you found this video useful. And as always, thank you for watching Chasing Cars.